On this episode of Mountain Bike Chronicles, we're in Scotland for the third stop of the UCI Downhill World Cup. Fort William holds a special significance on this tour. For G. Atherton, his home race is the highlight of the season. The British rider never has to look far to see his family. A new mountain bike film causes a stir. All this and more in another episode of Mountain Bike Chronicles. For G. Atherton, mountain biking is as much an emotional roller coaster as a physical one.
It's just about carrying those small feelings that you can only get after a good result. You know, keeping them with you, holding them inside you, and taking them to the next race to kind of give you that self-belief that you can do it and you can reach the top.
George, as his parents named him, grew up with his two siblings, and from there, a mountain biking dynasty was forged.
My older brother Dan has always been the main role model for me growing up. You know, it's always been the guy I've been looking up to and watching and copying and kind of, he's been showing me what's what in life and leading me into the mountain bike.
The Athertons conquered the mountain bike world as a family.
Got like a pretty unique thing going, you know. We're all living in the same house in North Wales, and when we're not living there, we're travelling around the world, racing on exactly the same team.
It is amazing having two brothers that are not only my brothers and teammates, but they're some of the best riders in the world, and I couldn't have asked for a better team and a better family.
Surrounded by such talent, both G and Rachel flourished, both winning world titles in 2008. G has also developed into one of the best all-round riders in the scene. Surrounded by spectators and fans, Fort William is one of the highlights of the racing season, with an outstanding track.
Fort William is pretty special because it's such a long and physical track, and I think you've got to be a special rider and very fit and be good at pedalling and just be very strong to do well here. We are just coming to the end of the top section of the track. Quite flat and smooth so far, and we have these wooden bridges we have to ride along. But it's like a shock to the system when you suddenly hit this big rock garden. You have to find a line and try to stay with it as best as you can, but you wake up quick when you hit this. We're in the Midge Woods, so this is the start of the woods. It's not somewhere you can win, but you can definitely lose here. So we've arrived at the bottom section of the track, the last of energy you have, and it's fairly flat and straight and some few jumps to carry your speed, but pedalling's the most important thing for the bottom sections. By the time you get to here in the race, you can see the finish line, you have mixed emotions. You're really tired and physically worn out, but then you have a big crowd, everyone cheering for you, so it keeps you pedaling. It's a great feeling when you get to here.
Aaron Gwynn arrives as the leaders in the overall rankings, following his dominant performance in Italy. The terrain in Scotland does not bring the American luck, and he crashes in qualifying and loses his normal starting position at the top. G. Atherton makes a short trip between races and heads back home.
Just got back from Val di Sole yesterday, and we're off to Fort William tomorrow, so it really is super tight and back-to-back all year. Being at home is super important for me because the racing is so tiring, you know. When you're at a race, you're so focused and it's so intense. It's always cool just to kind of switch off from the racing, you know, relax, just kind of pretend I'm not stuck in the middle of a race season, you know. Do a bit of training still, but, you know, at the same time, make time for having some fun, you know, just riding the trails or riding the yard with our friends, or, you know, going out on the motocross bike, anything that you can't do whilst you're away and racing.
At home with his siblings, the former world champion and winner of the overall World Cup enjoys his downtime. With his family, he takes part as a spectator.
Yeah, it's awesome to come back after a World Cup, especially when it's in Europe. You know, you can come home the day after and same day you're back home and the yard's riding, everyone's just hanging out here. It's always good to get away from the racing.
Vieni allora.
In Fort William, the circus is in town. The race is imminent. Despite adverse weather conditions, thousands of fans line the course, eager to catch a glimpse of their stars. The superstar today is Aaron Gwynn and starts in an unusual spot due to his fall in qualifying. The American shows all his class and conjures up a perfect run on the Scottish course and takes provisional top spot.
It's been a little bit of a rough week. I kind of started out getting sick on Friday night and just trying to push through it. Had a couple of crashes yesterday. I just tried to be smooth and hit my line, so should be all right.
Gwynn's first pursuant is Sam Hill, who despite his best efforts is not able to oust him. Now the hardcore fans are waiting for the duel of the championship. Greg Minnaar wants Aaron's place at the top and starts explosively. In the lower part, however, he lacks power and finishes 5 seconds behind his rival. G is looking forward to competing in Fort William. In 2010, he won this event in the Scottish Mountains.
I think going into Fort William, having won there before, is, it's going to make me really push extra hard and, give it that extra small percentage that I'm going to have to try and take a win there.
He leaves his home in North Wales, but brings the bulk of his family with him.
Travelling with a team is like travelling with one big family, really, especially for me. I travel with my brother and sister a lot. The people that you travel with really decide, I think, how much you enjoy your races.
Quality time is key while the Athertons are away from home.
It's cool that you can share the travelling and all the experiences with people that you're really close to, and I think that makes it special.
Enjoying the travel side of things was not always positive for the family.
Travelling has changed over the years. When I first started with my brother, it was, when you're doing it on your own, you're doing it on a shoestring, that you're doing it, spending as little money as possible, and that's when travelling is really hard and, it is quite difficult then, but, now we're more experienced. You learn tricks, how to make it easier for yourself, and it doesn't get boring. I still enjoy it. I still think I'm a very lucky person to be able to do that much travelling.
The mountain bike sport offers endless trails and adventures. All over the world, different people experience different stories about the scene. Capturing these stories was a mission undertaken by the Canadian film crew from Ant Hill Films. Strength in Numbers is the title of their new film, which aims to show the wide range of mountain biking. The well-known production company worked on another great project after their films Follow Me and Inside Out. For the filming of their newest movie, the crew traveled for 2 years in 6 different countries. The resulting 450 hours of footage were carefully cut over the course of another year. 8 different cameras and 4 helicopters provide stunning imagery. The impressive result can now be presented. In Fort William, it has gone down to the wire. Aaron Gwynn still holds the lead, but for how long? Danny Hart from England is on the attack. He gains a lot of momentum from the upper part and is well out of the forest. In the lower part, he gives it his all. Missing just 0.08 of a second on the fastest time, Danny must settle for a provisional second place, with Quinn still in the hot seat. G. Atherton is hungry to win this event again. He flies through the flat passages and races towards the finish. G's performance is not enough, however, and he must settle for third place, leaving Aaron on top. Mark Beaumont is the last rider who can affect things. In the upper part, it looks like a good ride, but due to an error in an unmanageable forest, he loses time. And Aaron Quinn can rejoice in his second consecutive victory.
I was definitely hanging at the bottom, didn't have much left. Tried to just conserve it at the top and be smooth. Not the best weekend for me, but managed to pull it together, man. I kind of can't believe it, really.
After the third event in Fort William, Aaron Quinn is building on his lead at the top of the UCI rankings. In second place is Greg Minar, followed by G. Atherton. On the next Mountain Bike Chronicles, travel with the UCI Downhill World Cup to Canada. The fourth race will be held in Mount St. Anne. Sam Hill began his career in Australia. His exceptional riding style earned him the 2010 World Championship. All this and more on the next edition of Mountain Bike Chronicles.